Did you ever get out of the ditch and into doing some crown molding or something?
No. I did that for, I want to say a couple of months. And during this time, I got evicted. Again, went to go live with my brother for a little bit. What wound up is a messed up story, but what wound up happening was I accidentally killed my boss's dog on the job.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had that happen too.
The boss goes, "Hey, go get these guys some sodas." And so I got in my car and I'm pulling out of the driveway, and I didn't realize that he had I knew he had a little dog. He had like a little Yorkie, and the dog, I guess, was blind and deaf. And I had no idea. I didn't see the dog in front of my car, and I don't want to running the dog over. And so once that happened, it was devastating. It was one of the most traumatic things I'd ever been through. I had to run over to my boss and tell him, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I just, And then to watch, the guy he was probably already in his 80s. And to watch this guy just fall to the ground I couldn't take it. I basically just, I'm sorry. And I never came back. That was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had the same thing happen almost on a construction site.
Mm.
There was a guy, my foreman, his name Mike. Horrible, horrible guy. Hated him. Yelled at everybody. Intimidated everybody. Threatened everybody. That's how it was. Everyone, it was lawless. You know what I mean? People threatened people and all that kind of shit. The only time the guy was in a good mood, he had a little pit bull puppy named Buckwheat, and he loved the puppy. And he'd be one of these guys who's an asshole to everybody. And then he'd be like, "Oh, Buckwheat, yeah." And he was in a good mood again. And we're all standing there, and he said, "I'm going to the lumber store. Now look out for Buckwheat." And he kind of handed us Buckwheat and got in his pickup truck and took off. It was on Wilshire Boulevard, and he got in his pickup truck and took off down the driveway, set Buckwheat down. Buckwheat started chasing the truck. Mike turned off onto Wilshire and just headed to the lumber yard, and Buckwheat ran out into the street and got run over. Now he's gone. He's not coming back for an hour and a half. Buckwheat's dead, and we're all just sitting there going, "This guy's the kind of guy, get a pickaxe out of his truck.
He's gonna take it out
start swinging at you." I just remember being like, "Oh God, it's just the worst." We're all just sitting around. We're trying to get back to work, but when Mike pulls back up in the pickup, who's going to go talk to him? So we're very simpatico.
Who wound up having to tell him the bad news?
Well, thankfully, he handed it to a guy named Jeff Gaines, and he was big. Jeff was a big dude, and he was a surfer fireman. So I was like, "We elect you, Jeff, to go tell Mike what happened to Buckwheat," which was heavy. But by the way, I did it for another 10 years after that. I didn't leave. I didn't.
You were still there for that long?
I didn't have the comedy chops that you had back at the tender age of 21, 22.